What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigar Avengers podcast, where real talk meets real smoke. I'm your host, Cigar Head Friend. I'm joined today with my brother, Big Guilty. Of course, y'all know him as NO of the Big Guilty podcast. And today we have a special guest joining us. Right here below. We have the legend himself, Mr. Bobby Newman of J.C. Newman Cigars. Welcome to the podcast, sir. How are you?
Thank you. Honored. Listen, we're honored. I'm talking to you from our flooded home in Tampa, Florida, upstairs, and I love your podcast. I love doing these podcasts, and I'm honored to be on it. Believe me. So thank you both. And Big Guilty, thank you for the great information about a good friend.
Well, it hurt me. It hurt me to find the news out. Like, he texted me because my son, he lives in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah. So you
got to come see
I'll be down there at the end of January because he has senior night. So wonderful. he wrestles for Gaither High School.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So the captain of the Gaither wrestling team. So, and he went 5-0 today. So so we're just building. We're building for him to qualify for state. That's what we want.
So what weight does he wrestle at?
He wrestles at 189 right now.
Oh, wow. Then let me tell you, wrestling. I wrestled in college intramurally.
Wow, yeah.
That is if we had a whiteboard, I can give you 100 reasons why it is the toughest sport, because you got to.
It is,
and you're using every ounce of strength that you have. And
well, it's because you're making somebody do something against their will.
Exactly.
And it's not so much about strength. It's so much more about technique, positioning, knowing where to go.
Shout
and
out to Darshawn, man.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Darshawn says definitely want to say hey to Bobby. Don't know if you remember or not. We met a couple of months ago in Ohio at the OSI Tobacco.
Exactly. That is out of Canton, Ohio, the home of the NFL Hall of Fame. Yes. We're blessed to have a Diamond Crown Cigar Lounge there with Aaron as the owner and and his business partners. Yeah. Yes, I do remember. And thank you for listening too.
Yes, sir. So we
go ahead, Fred.
We want to go ahead and kick off the show. Are you lighting up a cigar tonight with us, Bobby?
Yes, I am. But I thought I'd surprise you. I'm going to light up a cigar you've never seen before.
Okay.
Really?
And be glad to send you after. Just email me your address, and we'll send you to see it. Very, very special cigar. But I interrupted you.
Oh no. Okay.
No, not at all.
No, you didn't. No.
Well, anyway, what I'm smoking is the first new brand we've come out with in 15 years.
Wow.
It's our grandfather. He had the brand patent. We got, in fact, there's copies of all the patents, and explains what the cigar was. It's the first aromatic cigar we've come out with. I've been in the company since full time. This is my 50th year. My brother Eric, this is his 53rd year. So
wow,
we've been around a long time. And of course, our grandfather started a business in May of 1895. So this is
wow.
So Grandpa J.C. had a brand called Zarzatus, and it's like, think of sardines. So Zarzatus.
Oh,
okay.
The name it came from a little town in Portugal, and
wow.
I do not know why we don't know why he named it that, but it's so I'll send you. So Big Guilty, send me your.
I definitely will.
Excuse me 1 second.
No problem.
Did you hear that in the background?
A little bit. I heard it. Yeah, I heard a little bit, but it's okay.
We got
yeah.
okay. We just got a few kitties here. That's all.
Hey, listen. You know what? That is the best thing, and it's the best time of the year. But I take it, Bobby. You're a grandfather. I take it, right?
No. I should be. I got married at 40. Had my first child at 43. Second child at 46. And
wow. Okay.
We follow a pattern in our family. Our grandfather came here in 1888 as a 15-year-old, started making cigars. Cleveland, Ohio was the largest enclave, a group of Hungarians. And then he was working with other people. He started the business in 1895. He got married very late in life, 40 at the time. And in fact, back then people were dying at 40 of old age.
Yeah.
And our father, Stanford, was a mechanic on a B-24 Liberator. He got married very late in life, and he had Eric, my brother, meet late. And so I got married at 40 for the first and last time. Got a wonderful wife. I outkicked our coverage, believe me. Tad married way over my pay grade, and I got very, very lucky.
Yeah. I think in life, when we do find a wife, we always do.
Yeah, they have to put up with all three of us.
Oh, with a whole lot. Oh, yeah. With a whole lot.
And every guy that's listening tonight as well.
Yeah. So Bobby, so you brought up your grandfather 2 times. So, during the show, and you speak of your grandfather type. Do you have a favorite story from when you were a kid that always sticks out to you about your grandfather?
Yes, because Grandpa J.C., it's hard to believe, even at my age, I remember him so well. Grandpa J.C. was born 10 years after the end of the American Civil War. He was born in 1875. But we went to his house every Sunday. It was very traditional to go to your grandparents' house and have a meal, have dinner. Mm-hmm. And probably one of my favorite stories is a story, and I didn't understand it at the time. And it's a story about Grandpa J.C. When you go, if you're going to go in business, always remember the story of shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves. He would tell my brother and I, what does that mean, Grandpa? We call him Grandpa J.C. What it means, he said, I am a first generation. I'm an immigrant. I know it's a bad name, but I'm from I came here as a 13-year-old in 1888. He said only wealthy people could afford long sleeves because it was literally extra cost of the material. So you start and thousands and hundreds of thousands of businesses were started back in the 1880s, 1890s, this massive wave of immigration from Eastern Europe. And so Grandpa J.C. said that, so you're very poor, and as you get older, your second generation comes into business, your children, your son and daughter, and they see how hard you worked, how hard your mother and your father worked. And the second generation carries the business on, and they become more successful. And they can they literally can afford long sleeves. And third generation never had it wasn't their fault. They never saw how their grandfather started, how the sacrifices that they made and the hardships they went through. And they don't have the same love for the industry, for whatever the business. And they go chapter 7 or chapter 11. They go bankrupt, and they have to go back from long sleeves to short sleeves. And it's almost a biblical statement, if you will. But so the point was, remember, don't be short sleeves to short sleeves.
Don't be short sleeves to short sleeves.
Okay. That I believe Fred's a history teacher, but Bobby, I don't know if you like a lot of history, but when I talk about generational wealth and legacy, I always think about the Khan dynasty, how Genghis Khan conquered so much, but then his grandkids, his great grandkids destroyed his whole empire because they didn't have to work for anything.
Right.
So
I didn't know that, Big Guilty, and thank you. That happens over and over and over again. It keeps repeating itself in the
Yeah,
United States when these kids are,
yeah.
and yeah, yes.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean
it's
it's definitely a thing. And oh my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
go.
I
No, go
think
ahead, Fred.
I think it's in today's world, you see it on social media all the time, where you have it's more people that make, of course, they teach these classes on how to do faceless YouTube channels and all this stuff. And a lot of kids
Hmm.
think that that's going to happen overnight. That oh,
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah,
be
yeah.
when I grow up, I'm just going to be a TikTok star, and that be it. And
Right.
that there's no work that's involved in it. And I think and you're the perfect guest. You're the because like I'm glad we're having this conversation, because my question to you is really really hits on this, because my question is this. So J.C. Newman is one of the oldest family run cigar companies in the U.S.
It's.
Um,
Can I interrupt you for a minute, Fred?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is the oldest. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Wow.
The oldest.
the oldest. Yeah, the
Right.
oldest. So
Yeah.
can you share a defining moment in the company's history that shaped its identity?
Well, absolutely. Number one was our leveraged buyout. 1985, um, the industry in the 80s, the industry was shrinking. The entire industry, the premium industry, was shrinking in number of units. It's going down 4 to 5%. It's a slow death. And so we had 9 relatives in our business. Is my brother, my father, and me. My brother's my best male friend. My wife is my best friend, who is a female, and but I was very very close to my dad, to our dad. So was my brother. So I went to my father in 1985 and said, Dad, we our relatives were fighting. We had aunts, uncles, in-laws, outlaws. It was awful, and so we were able to buy them out. We had a leveraged buyout, 1986, February 14th. That was the defining moment in my life in business, because we were able to. We didn't have a pot to pee in. We had to turn all of our IRAs in, individual retirement accounts, which wasn't that much money. But my dad, he was 70 years old, and he mortgaged his house in order to. Plus, we mortgaged the cigar factory we had in Tampa, and if we would have gone chapter 7, there's a law in Florida, you can't lose your house, but he would have lost everything else. And
Wow.
he believed in us, my brother Eric and
Hmm.
me, and he believed in himself. And we thought we could do a better job running the business. And
Yeah.
God talks to us in different ways. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if you know this, but 3 weeks after our leverage buyout, February 14th, 1986, this little small manufacturer in about 6 blocks from our factory came to see us and see my dad. Really, his name was Carlos Fuentes Sr. And
Oh wow.
you can see where this is going. It's someone here.
Hmm.
Cigars to burn. Hard times create strong men.
Yep.
Strong men
I was
create
gonna bring
good.
that up.
Yeah, oh, I love that. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Thank you. And but anyway, uh, so Carlos Fuentes Sr. And his son, they had been burned out in the mid 70s. Again, this was 1986. Mid 70s, they couldn't find enough hand cigar makers in Tampa. Everyone was in the 70s and 80s. If the weather was bad, they wouldn't show up. If it was cold, they wouldn't show up. So Carlos Fuentes Sr. started a factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. Things were going
Wow.
great, and then the Sandinistas came in, the communists, and they burned his factory down and other factories. He lost
Wow.
everything, and he came back to Tampa, regrouped, and he bought a building in Nicaragua, in Honduras, uh, about 50 miles to the north, and things were going great. And he had electrical fire and burned down everything. No insurance. This was 1980. Came
Wow.
back,
Yeah.
started all over again for the third time, and So he started in this country that back then, very few people knew where it was. It's called Dominican Republic. He started in Santiago, and Carlito had to leave Tampa this was 1980. Carlito was 26 years old, and they both started that company with 6 people, and so by 1986, they had been making the Fuentes in Tampa were making on these hand operated machines 2 or 3 million cigars called Moya, Moya, and they're in bundles, and they sold them in New Jersey, and they sold them in Miami. It was a pretty good business. And Carlos Fuentes Sr. Told us that he wanted to concentrate on his factory in Esteli. In Santiago, Dominican Republic. So he asked us if we would make the cigars for him. And so a lot of you at the time we were making close to 300,000 cigars a day on these
Wow.
machines. Yeah. And we were making 30,000 Cuesta Rey cigars again on these hand operated machines. Took 4 operators, and so we said yes, we would. But my father, in his wisdom, said we've been out of the making cigar business since we left Cleveland in 1954, and we'd like to get back in the hand cigar making again in 1986. So Carlos Fuentes Sr. and Jr. said, "Yeah, okay, we'll make cigars for you." So my father used a brand. My dad knew everyone at the time. There were 100 million cigars coming into the United States. The industry was for handmade cigars was flat. For the premium cigars, like what we were making, was going down. And so my father, we had an old brand called La Unica, means the one and only, or in Spanish, La Única. My father had an idea. Let's call it, because at the time, all the bundles in the United States, they were all seconds. They would have like green spots on, where you could see where they were patched over, a lot of returns. And I'm reading this thing. I love this. I think my favorite thing about this industry is how the competitors have so much mutual respect for each other, from brands and blenders to brick and mortar. You're absolutely right.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, very, very true. Thank you for putting that in. So anyway, this was before cell phones. This was before actually cell phones were just starting, but this is before computers, and obviously Apple was not around.
Yeah.
And the way we started, my father said, let's market it this way. We'll call them Dominican Primeros, La Unica Dominican Primeros, which means Dominican first. And the only way we can communicate with consumers and retailers, we had a sales force, the only way we get the word out is to mail to people's houses, to go into your store, and here's a coupon, and get a free La Unica cigar. And these would be the first cigars sold in bundles that are first. And the reason the price is so low is that you're not, at the time, it had no cigar band on it. So you're not paying for the expense of packaging of a box, cigar bands, labels, and so forth. And son of a gun, it took, after 6 months, it was the #1 selling bundle cigar in the United States. They gave my father, and my father was a wonderful man. He died at the office at 90 years old back in 2006. But it gave my father confidence, because Cuesta Rey was his baby. My father bought Cuesta Rey from the Cuesta family back in 1959, the year after Grandpa J.C. died. And Dad didn't want to, because he wanted to make it in Tampa, but he knew the future was in hand cigar making.
Right.
And it was 100% tobacco wrapper binder, long filler, but he didn't tell the Fuente family, but he wanted to see how the La Unicas, what they would look like, how they would sell, how they taste, how they would be accepted by the market. And so we switched. We were making 30,000 Cuesta Rey every day on these hand operated machines, and we switched from machine made to handmade. And again, this was before Cigar Aficionado came in 1992. And we were very fortunate. that the brand took off. The great irony that here we are. It's December. Is it December 20th, I believe, 2025. That yesterday, uh, that in Cigar Aficionado, which is still a very powerful magazine, the fourth best cigar in the world is a Cuesta Pyramid Number 9 Central Fina, and we were shocked.
Wow.
We were really shocked, and because it never got any rating over 90. If you get a rating 94, 95, it I tell you how powerful it was. Within 24 hours, we had orders for over 500 boxes from the
Wow.
But but it is a good cigar though, Bobby. It actually is a good. Is there and for me, I've smoked a couple. I've smoked a few even in my beginning journey of smoke. I'm 34. I'm 34 now. I've been smoking since I was 20 years old. So this is just one. I remember the first time I had a. I remember. Let's see. I remember the first time I had a Cuesta was I was it was after college. It was it was after class, and I went to a brick and mortar that I was just picking up stuff just to build my palate, just to smoke stuff and drink some coffee and do some homework. And I tried it, and I was able to I smoked a lot of cigars. I spent a lot of time at that lounge, and they were very heavy with J.C. Newman cigars. And what I remember from smoking it, it's always been a very good cigar. It's just for some people may think it's a little too light for their palate. It's either too light for your palate, or it's not, or it's just right for your palate.
Exactly.
And it's one of those cigars that fits, especially for a beginner trying to build their palate up and trying to get some good flavors out of a cigar, trying to learn how to pick out flavors in a cigar. That is a good. That to me, that is a cigar that's overlooked for beginners, because a lot of people automatically go to a Perdomo champagne. There's a lot of stuff that you hear, but if you're talking about a cigar that'll be really good to build your palate, the Cuesta that's another really good cigar to help build your palate.
I agree. Yeah, thank you. It's funny. Here we are in 1986. Now we're in the hand cigar making business, and by 1990, the Fuentes were shipping us 200,000 cigars every single week, and this was before the cigar boom, and it was never enough. My brother and I we used to go. We're obviously working 6 days a week, sometimes 7. When you have a leveraged buyout, we were millions of dollars in debt, and it would take a miracle to get us out, and we had a miracle, and but Eric and I would go every Saturday. This new machine had just come out, I think in 1988, called the fax machine, and so we bought one. And every Saturday morning, the Fuentes would send they would fax us a packing list, and I remember Eric and I we were waiting 11 o'clock Saturday morning. It would come through very slowly, made funny noises. It was always 200,000, 196,000, and we never complained, but we needed at least $250,000. But these are great problems to have. But they say what the expression, you've all heard this before, I'm sure. What won't kill you will make you stronger. And,
exactly.
So we bought all of our relatives out. What happened is that a leveraged buyout is when you put up the assets that you have, the brands, the factory, and we borrowed millions of dollars, and a third of the millions that we borrowed was from the savings and loan, and the name of it. But anyway, in 1980, 3 weeks after our leverage buyout, the entire savings and loan industry collapsed. There's no more savings and loans. But someone just said, I'm sure it's hard to choose, but what is your? Oh, I do want to answer this. I love this. And thank you, Cigar Idiot. I'm sure it's hard to choose, Bobby. What is your favorite J.C. Newman cigar to go on a daily basis? I'll give you two answers. First of all, like if we First of all, 1988, I did personally my first cigar dinner ever. It was in Sarasota with Carlos Fuente Jr. Getting long before the boom, and somebody asked that to Carlito. Said, "Mr. Fuente, what's your favorite cigar?" And he thought about it, and he said, "How can you choose among your children?" Which was a great answer.
Uh-huh.
Yep. But if I had to go away forever on an island, I would take the Diamond Crown Julius Caesar Toro. That's what I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's definitely a great cigar there.
Well, Fred, if it would have to be me, you can pronounce this one better than I can, Fred, because I'm gonna butcher it.
What?
But this guy right here.
The Angel Cuesta.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't see that. Is that the Angel Cuesta?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Love this cigar.
Love
this cigar.
When we after we finish with the podcast, would you please send me your addresses?
Yes, I would definitely.
Definitely.
And so
definitely will.
We got a couple more questions here in the chat. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Zach. Zach said, Bobby, you said in hand rolled, you were skeptical. The American line would be a success. Are you still skeptical?
Not anymore. And so when Drew came in, Drew, he's Eric's. He's an only child. He's my brother's only child. Drew, when Drew came in, he had these crazy ass ideas to have a massive. It was going to be a 6-year restoration remodeling of the factory. Now it will be 12 years by the time we're all finished. His idea was to put a hand cigar making factory in the 3rd floor of our factory. And the factory was old and never been remodeled, and but he wanted to start making cigars by hand, and his father Eric said, "Look, Drew, if you want to do this whole project, that you can spend your inheritance now, you can wait till your mother and I die." Honest to God. and Drew said, "Nope."
That's a great saying.
Yeah, Drew said, "I want to do it now," and we have 10 hand cigar makers, and one of the reasons we're very, very close friends with the Fuente family, dear. Let me tell you, if I was down to my last dollar, I'd give Carlito 51 cents, or the Fuente family. That's how close we are. But really,
that's amazing.
And I guess that's why you guys do the Toast Across America every year.
Right, exactly. Oh my God,
man, I love it. And the 2025s, of course, every year has been awesome and amazing. So it's just go. When did that first start? The Toast Across America. When did you guys first come up with doing that?
Probably 20 years ago, because we had. That's another. I guess we all have lots of stories about. My brother Eric was. My dad used to go down every couple of months to meet with the Fuente family, talk about our brands and their brands, because we started representing them as well. But Eric and Carlito were in Carlito's 4-wheeler. Carlito just started his new farm where the Fuente Ovesex tobacco is grown, and they saw some children 11 o'clock in the morning, and they were playing in the stream. And their bellies were extended. They looked like they were wearing, all they had were shorts on. And 11 o'clock, they should be in school. There was one school down the street. It looked like something out of a little house on the prairie. They put the 1st graders through the 5th graders all in one room, and they learned nothing. You go by the school, and it had a one light bulb hanging from on a wire. So we knew something. There's 2 things wrong. These kids, we found out the reason the kids all had extended bellies because the water was all bad. It was all polluted.
Yep.
So Eric and I are Rotarians, and Eric led this project. We started buying these 3-part water systems. We brought people down to assemble them and to give them to the people in these communities. We drilled 3 deep water wells, and the water was still polluted. So that's why we needed these 3-part system, so people could. They still use them to this day.
Wow.
And also we wanted to. If Carlito were here, he would tell you if we had had a business plan, we never would have built that school. But Eric and Carlos Fuente Jr. said, let's instead of adding a wing onto the government school, let's just build our own school. So we bought 22 acres. We didn't have a pot to pee in, but we and the Fuentes bought 22 acres. And this was, golly, around, I want to say like 25 years ago. And
wow.
And this would never happen in the United States. We didn't know it was a flood zone, and every time it rained, it would flood. And so we spent about $250,000, and we put in these French drains. A French drain it looks like a big pipe, a huge pipe, maybe 3 or 4 feet in diameter, and at the top of the pipe it has a slot so the water can drip through. That goes through the soil, and it goes right back out into the river that surrounded the school. So we built the school. It's pre-K to 8th grade. Eric goes down there. They start the school. Things are great. Carlito calls my brother 2 weeks later and said, "Eric, we have a problem." Eric said, "How come with the school?" Eric said, "How can we have a problem? We just had this wonderful opening." The 8th graders were complaining they had no place to go. They didn't want to go because after 8th grade they would have to get a job working in the tobacco fields. So Eric and Carlito borrowed $1 million from the Bank of Tampa, and we built a secondary school. In other words, 9th through 12th grade. And if you do things for the right reasons, usually the right
things that happen.
Exactly. So we did that, and we started raising money from people we knew in Tampa, people that started, I can't mention their name, but big chain here, and now a national chain. They gave us $50,000. We built a kitchen because these kids have nothing. Most of them I've been in their homes. Eric has been in their homes. Drew has been in their homes. Carlito, Cynthia have been in their homes. They have dirt floors. The Dominican people are very proud people. They're very happy people. And I remember going through and watching the women would be sweeping the floor with a palm frond because they could have. There are no brooms. I mean, it was unbelievable. And no screens on the obviously no air conditioning, no electricity. So we felt that the only way to break the chains of poverty is through education. And I believe that if you educate anybody, not only an American, but give someone the opportunity so they can get an education and help themselves. And it was Carlito's dream to have these people, right? We're going to give them an education, have them come back. Don't go to New York and which back then they were doing. The largest group of Dominicans is up in Brooklyn and the Bronx area.
The Bronx and Manhattan, Washington Heights.
That's exactly right. And these young men would go up there and they would sell things that wouldn't do what they're supposed to do, come back to Dominican with gold chains, and everyone thought $1 million. And Bobby, if you ever decide to make a cigar for your father, what would the makeup of the cigar? Well, I tell you, this is from at Darshan the Goat. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
He can hear you.
Apparently can. Boy, I tell you, if I had to make a cigar for my father today, I have to think about that, because what saved our company, and I know we're jumping around different subjects, but January 1962, President John F. Kennedy put an embargo on Cuba. No more Cuban tobacco, no more Cuban rum, no more Cuban sugar. Those 3 commodities were the largest exports for Cuba. There were 10 large factories in Tampa making 500 million cigars using Cuban wrapper, Cuban binder, Cuban filler. By 1965, everybody was out. And what saved our family was this new tobacco. No one could pronounce it. No one had any idea where the country was. It was called Cameroon. So Dad was
Wow.
he was the first American to bring Cameroon tobacco in the United States, and it saved us. And I never speak for the Fuentes, but I'd say it saved them as well, and because they using a lot of the Cameroon. And so uh, I'd make a cigar with a Connecticut broadleaf. I would use a lot of even in Dominican Republic, they grew some of the best filler called Olor, and I would either use Cameroon or use an Ecuador Havana seed, which we use a lot of that tobacco on the Julius Caesar. The Fuentes use
Yeah.
it on the Magar.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, Carlito would kill me because people ask him, "What's in the cigar?" And he said, "Tobacco." So, but anyway, but going back to the school though, build it and they will come. So we started bringing tobacconists down to the school to see. And then we had an idea. I don't know. It's sure it was Carlito or Eric's idea. Let's make two special cigars. Oh, hi Fred. Let's make two special cigars. Put them in a coffin, and we'll sell them for $50 to the tobacconist, and ask them to sell for $50. Ask them not to make any money, and send the money back to Tampa to us at the Cigar Family. And it was very, very difficult in the early years to do that because no one had ever heard of. I don't know if any other manufacturer had ever done this, to having this national fundraiser like this. Today,
Right.
today we sell over 11,000 of those toast packets. So 11,000 times $50 is $550,000. It is our biggest fundraiser. It costs us about $850,000 to keep the school going. And I'll tell you, we're a 501c3. It's called Cigar Family Charitable Foundation, and it's the only foundation I have ever heard that if an American gives the foundation $1 or $100, you can write off your taxes, but 100% of the money goes 100% of it goes to the school, to the kids, to the students, to the programs down there. Fuente family and our family, we split all the marketing, the attorney fees, and the accounting 50-50. And
Wow.
like I say, we've been very, very blessed. We've been able to get, let me tell you, we're not that smart. The school opened in 2003, and there was no electricity. So we you won't believe, solar today is very sexy. The solar. The solar back then was so, you barely got any electricity out of the solar panels, but it gave us enough electricity to power the light bulbs and the donated computers, the laptops. And today we've got it. We recently, well, it was 2.5 years ago, we got a pretty good grant. We have brand new solar. And as you know, in Dominican Republic, maybe you don't know, it's like 22% of Major League Baseball players are from the Dominican Republic.
Yep.
Catholicism and baseball are very, very big in the Dominican Republic. So we built a Cigar Aficionado, and I can't tell you how much they gave us a kilo, but they gave Cigar Family a wonderful grant, and we built a beautiful a baseball stadium, and it was enough money where in the dugouts, and you see the big leagues, when someone, when they go back in, when a Major League Baseball player goes into the dugout, they often keep on walking straight. So it was built just like that, where you could have showers in there and meeting rooms and so forth. So
That's pretty cool.
So we got schools involved. So we now have again, going back to Eric's and especially Carlito's dream to have these kids come back, educate them. So now we were able to obtain a pretty good grant. We built a medical clinic there, and the first student Nelson Colada. And when he was 8 years old, many years ago, I met him. He said he would go down there. He called me, Mr. Newman, Mr. Bobby. When I get old like you, I want to be a physician. He said, I want to be a doctor. I said, Nelson, just stay here, and you can be whatever you want to be. And he was our first physician. He's now a medical doctor. And
that's amazing.
When I saw him, I just broke down. I was so happy. Bill Feldberg, thank you. He said, just
shout out. Good. Bill, thank you, Bill.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate that. And
thank you, Bill.
To quote Carlito and quote my brother, you'll never see the Newman or Fuente name on that school. It's Cigar Family. It's if you gave $1, you own part of it. So the gentleman who just said $100, that's part of yours. And
shout out to Bill.
It was it's been an interesting ride, to say the least. But it comes back to the bite. You reap what you sow, and there's expression to who much is given, much is expected. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you don't have. If you're a bus driver, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still, if you live in America, the opportunities are incredible. And if you have, it's such a privilege to live in this country. And as you know.
So Bobby, I have a
can you hear me?
Oh,
can you hear me, Bill? Can you hear me, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know. You dropped out, and when you came back in, the sound went out.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Fred? Okay, but you can hear me, Bill?
Okay.
Oh, Fred, you can hear me? Bill,
Bobby,
can you hear me? Bobby, can you hear me, Bobby?
I can hear you perfect. Yes, sir.
I know you can hear me. Can you hear Big Guilty?
Yeah, he can hear me.
Yeah.
All right,
that's me. I can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me. I just got. I'm gonna hop back off. I'm gonna hop back on. But I just want to say one thing to ask Bobby one quick question, because we have like we said earlier, we have a mutual friend. So I just wanted to know, how did you get involved with Dogs Inc.?
Okay, that's a great question, and I tell you that before I answer that, this is I don't know if you can see him. His name is Frank Vallis.
Nice.
Well, it's hard to see it here, but anyway. And when I get off, I'm going to call him. Get off this.
He's in the chat right now.
We got to call him.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Frank's in the chat right now.
Oh, Frank, congratulations, War Eagle.
No.
We're happy for his son.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Now, Bobby, I got a question I want to ask you. Now,
yes, sir.
I did some research, I did some digging, and you talk about this is a huge family-owned thing, and so I want to talk about Brothers Broadleaf. Oh
yeah, I will. Before I do that, I will absolutely. But also, can I give you about a 1 minute about what Dogs Inc. is?
Oh yes, yes, sir, most definitely.
Back in 2000, my mother was my kids were were like 3 and 5 years old, and we had gotten them some. Children love animals. They're born. They love animals. That's why they give them a teddy bear when they're real small. Something they can hang on to. Kids loved animals, so we bought we made 2 glorious mistakes. We bought a Jack Russell Terrier, and he was like on speed all the time. He barked 24 hours. And we cornered I'm not a cat person, but I love my wife. We have 5 cats, and so the dog cornered the cat, and they both went to the bathroom, and they tracked all over our home. And my wife she never cries, but she's calling me crying. We got to get rid of this dog. So we sent it back to the breeder, and then we made a worse mistake. Back in the early 90s or mid 90s, there were every mall in America had pet stores, and no one told that these dogs were from puppy mills illegally from Arkansas or whatever. And we bought a dog and it bit both kids and me. And so we gave it to a very good friend of ours, who an older person. Then my mother, in the year 2000, almost 25 years ago, my mother was at Saks Fifth Avenue in the Design Saloon, second floor. And she saw this big black Labrador. It said Southeastern Guide Dogs. And it had been adopted. Its handler had died of cancer. And so someone adopted it. So my mother called me up and she said, why don't you go down and call the Southeastern Guide Dogs? It's outside of Sarasota, Florida, in Palmetto, Florida, and see if they have any flunkies, and which means change with dogs that didn't make it. So I never heard of Southeastern Guide Dogs. Went down there. They must have felt sorry for us. They gave us a Goldador, 18-month-old Goldador named Millie that had hip dysplasia, and this dog was like Lassie. It was a perfect dog. And I felt it's such an obligation to help that program. This was 2000. Next year, 9/11 comes, and the Twin Towers collapsed, and America changed again, and we went to war. And the first American serviceman to lose both eyes in the global war on terror was a 25-year-old Marine named Michael Jernigan, and he was riding in a Humvee in 2004. Marine detachment. He was riding in the machine gun nest above the turret, and the 22-year-old driver, Marine driver, drove over, obviously by accident, a pressure plate. It was two captured 155 millimeter howitzers. It went off and killed the driver immediately, and it took Michael Jernigan's eye, literally his whole forehead off, part of his hand.
Oh my God.
Part of his knee, the worst thing I'd ever seen. And it was in the front page of the St. Petersburg Times. And so I had a knee-jerk reaction. I called it, living in St. Pete, found his mother, called his mother, found her, and said, look, we got to get your son a guide dog. And so she brought him down, and he had something that I had never heard of. Very few Americans called post-traumatic stress disorder. Dad, we had growing up, and I'm an old guy, and growing up in the 50s, as a youngster in early 60s, in our neighborhood, we had one man that he's always shaking like this. You say, Daddy, what's wrong with Mr. So-and-so? He said, he's shell-shocked. Well, what does that mean? Well, he was in World War II, and he can't help it. He stays home all the time. So Michael Jernigan had, he was teamed with a guide dog. It didn't work, and he called me and said he was sorry. He went with his mother back to St. Petersburg. He called me a year later. He was ready for his guide dog, and he became a spokesman for our school. And that's how kind of the story. And today, Dogs Inc., you can go online, dogsinc.org. We've got $21 million budget. We gave her 1,000th service dog out late last year. No one has taken their life. Despite America, we're losing 22 to 50 veterans a day. American military veterans in a country as great as ours, but we've never lost anyone, thank God. It's because of the animals. And when you come down to see me in Tampa, I'll take you down there. We'll blindfold.
Yes.
Blindfold.
I would love that.
Okay, we'll give you a guide dog. You'll never forget it. Talk to some of these young veterans, and every one of them has the same story. In fact, when we hang up, send me your email. I'll send you some short videos, a minute, 2 minutes.
I've met a few people from Dogs Inc. So I've met a few people through Frank from Dogs Inc. And the dogs are amazing. And the one thing, because you can't pet the dogs yourself.
Right.
You can't. They're working. So you can't pet the dogs, can't touch the dogs, and it's amazing how that foundation, what that foundation does, especially for our military. I think that's the most important thing, because our military a lot of times is forgotten.
Oh, exactly.
Are
you a veteran?
No, I'm not. No, but I do have a lot of family that was in military. I almost joined the military, but my mom. So the recruiter called my house, and I was going to sign the papers and everything. And the recruiter called my house. My mom goes, if you ever call my house again, yeah, I'll take you out myself. I hung the phone up. And she goes, I told you you're not joining the Army. I mean, you're not joining the Marines. Because my cousin was a Marine. And since he was a Marine, I was going to be a Marine. Right. But it was right. It was 2004. It was right at the height of Afghanistan and Iraq. Yep. Yeah. So I was going to go right to war. So it was one of those things where, my mom was like, no, like, you're not going, you're staying home, and, cause my mindset was, and me being stubborn, I'm thinking that since I have family there, they're going to put me in the same platoon as my cousin. Cause I'm like, I'm going to go and I'm going to be able to protect him.
Right.
And not knowing that I'm going to go here, he's going to go there.
Right.
So, and so like, I didn't join the military at that time. If my mom didn't answer that phone, it was a good chance I was going over.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I'm sure that's has been told many a time.
Many times.
And listen, Darshan, can I interrupt you for a minute, please?
Go for it, yeah.
Darshan said, hey, Bobby, the cigar you're smoking tonight, would that be released to OSI? Absolutely. They should have it. In fact, they should have it by next week. And it's called Sarzeda's Aromatic Cigar. Try it as well. But anyway, you asked me about early Fred about Brothers Broadleaf. So when COVID came, all the kids who were in college were forced to go home. It was March of 2020.
Right.
And my sons are now 28 and 31, Dawson and Paxton. They're both getting married next year.
Good. Congratulations.
So we now have a family. We have a doctor in the family, Dawson, who's 31. He's marrying a physician's assistant.
Okay.
Amazing.
And Paxton, he is marrying a very brilliant technical lab scientist, and he works at Tampa Journal. And she makes more money than he does.
Nice.
But anyway, so they had this idea. They both smoked. I know this is a public audience, but because you heard about, if you saw Fox News, Trump is trying to decriminalize marijuana, cannabis,
right,
for research, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Why I believe my dad believed in it too, as well, before he died. But so there's a brand called Backwoods, and they sell billions of units. They're sold everywhere.
Everywhere.
They're made on high-speed machinery, and people complain because you buy a pack of 5, maybe 1 or 2 will be good. The other ones have holes in them, being disrespectful to Backwoods. But so they had an idea. How about we make a cigar similar to Backwoods but better, and let's guarantee that it'll be perfect. And so they told me. I said, I think you're out of your mind, but this is your dream. We'll do it. And I said, who's going to make the cigar? They said, well, Daddy, Pensa, our factory. We have one of the largest cigar factories. We make over 100,000 cigars a day down in Nicaragua in Esteli. So we started making the cigar, and it was broadleaf is very, very popular. Connecticut broadleaf. There's not enough to go around. So they're the most expensive cigar is called Brothers Broadleaf. It's called Paxton's Pearls, and it's a broadleaf cigar. Beautiful.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll send you some samples. They also do because they knew they couldn't get enough tobacco, so they started getting tobacco from it's Ecuador Havana seed, and also it's darkened. And I don't use it. I don't smoke marijuana, but I have my medical marijuana card because have a sleeping disorder, and I've tried edibles, but the problem, and edibles are great. They work 10, 20 milligrams, but the problem is that you don't get any deep sleep. And the reason I read that, but if you ever, when you come down and see us, this is an Aura ring. If you ever heard of it, and you can now buy them at. It's made in Finland. You could only buy it through an app. Now you can buy them at Best Buy, and it tells you. It tells you how you sleep, how much deep sleep you have, how much REM, which is rapid eye movement. It tells you your heart rate. When you go to a doctor and you get a physical, one of the first things they put it's like an oximeter. They put on your finger to see what your oxygen level is. So it tests all that. It does a zillion things. I only use it for sleep, and it's so anyway. So that's what they're doing. They just launched something really interesting that it's called the Vineyard Series, and it's 8 cigars. We'll send you some of them, and
what I did was a couple of friends of mine, they were trying to get off the backwoods and stuff, and that, like, a lot of them, some of them they're getting into cigars, and some still smoke marijuana and all that stuff. So they were looking for like some new stuff. So I was like, well, I found, since I heard about Brothers Broadleaf, and when I found them, I was like, hey, listen, I for one, I love J.C. Newman. I know that they're a part of the J.C. Newman family. I said, listen, try Brothers Broadleaf. I know a couple of guys, they ordered some. I don't know if they got them yet, but so they I definitely put the word out to a couple of my friends that do smoke marijuana. I don't smoke marijuana. I tried. Listen.
It was Bobby, let me killed
tell
me.
you a story about that, Bobby. Okay, let me tell
you got a story, Fred?
Okay,
I got a story.
My first
can you hear me, Fred? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh man,
Fred, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
It always does this.
Okay.
Yeah. So somehow StreamYard always does this.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Fred, love to hear your story and big guilty.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You can't hear me,
No, he can.
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you perfectly.
So let me tell you. So my story was, I was at baseball practice. It was getting close to playoff season, and so we had practice extra long, and so we missed the calf hours, so we couldn't get anything to eat in the calf other than cereal. And I was like, I didn't want that. I wanted some food. So I went to a friend of mine. I went to his house. And normally he always has something because his mom didn't stay that far, so she would always cook something for him. So she was on her way with the food at the time, but it wasn't there yet, and I needed something to eat. And so my friend Ollie, he made brownies. He made special brownies and he made regular brownies, and the brownies were really, really good. And so he's like, Fred, I got brownies, bro, if you want to eat them. I said, okay, cool. I'll eat those. So here's the thing. When he opened the door, I already knew he was high already. So he didn't tell me which brownies were the special brownies and versus the regular brownies. So I grabbed the whole pan and I'm eating. I ate half the pan of brownies. And so he got up. And said, hey, Fred. Man, which brownies did you eat? I said, the ones that were sitting on the counter. He said, no. I said, what you mean? No. What? I'm starting to panic. He said, bro, those are the weed brownies. I said, no, dude. Listen, I poured up a glass of milk, Bobby. I was having a good time, okay? Because they were really good. I was like, man, this gonna hold me over till I get some food.
Yeah.
Man, listen, Bobby, I laid back. I've never slept like this in my life. And I said, I felt my blood moving through my veins. And I said, God, please don't take me tonight. I didn't know.
No, I can't hear nothing.
I didn't know that they were weed brownies. I'll never do it again. Lord, just don't take me tonight. I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know. Listen, my heart. I like, why do my heart has never beat like this before? What is going on? Man, I scared the shit out of myself, Bob. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So that was my first and last experience with edibles. Because I was like, man, listen, I thought I thought a bike, it was a regular bike. And I was like, hey man, whose motorcycle is this? Like, hey Fred, man, it's not a motorcycle, that's a bike. I said, man, this is a cool motorcycle, man. Like, man, whose motorcycle is this? I'm up here touching somebody's bike and I didn't know. Like I ran into the door because I couldn't, listen, it had me really woozy. So I was like, yeah, I can't, man. I can't do it.
Oh, it's awful. Oh, listen, we all have had experiences like that. And so when I was 29 years old, single, and this girl made brownies, I was living in a little apartment in Tampa, and she.
All right, you can hear me now, Fred? All right, good.
All right, great. Yeah. So Fred just told us great.
No, I heard him. I heard him. Listen, I'm not a weed smoker myself, and I tried it one time, Bobby, and I almost coughed up a lung.
Ooh, yeah.
I was coughing for like 10 minutes straight, and everybody that knows me knows that I can't smoke cigarettes. I cannot smoke hookah. I can't smoke weed. And they go, how do you smoke cigars? Well, I go, you don't inhale it. The flavor just goes in your mouth. So they go,
exactly. Yeah.
So I've never been a weed guy at all.
I cannot inhale anything. I love cigars. And I had a Fred, I had a similar story when I was 29 years old. This girl was at my apartment. She brought brownies. I never asked her what's in it. I'd never heard of marijuana brownies. Never heard of THC. And I had about four of them. And boy, I tell you, and so she ate more than I did. And we just collapsed in the bedroom and woke up about 4 hours later. I was never so hungry in my life. And this new thing called microwaves. I'm serious. So we got some a big thing of, I always kept chicken, and we put the chicken in the microwave, and I think I ate about 5 pieces of it, each of us. But
wow,
anyway,
wow, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but brothersbroadleaf.com. It's Paxton and Dawson are like my brother and me, and they have a YouTube channel. I just want to tell you, if you go on the YouTube channel, they've got a couple of them. They got over 20 million visitors.
Wow,
on this thing, and they have 130. Okay, I say one more thing before. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I can cut you off. I'm sorry, Bobby. That's my fault. It's my fault.
But how do you get a company started? They found influencers in 2020 and on Instagram. I don't do social media. I'm old and I don't do Facebook. But on if you go to their Instagram, Brothers Broadleaf, they have over 130,000 followers, and that's how they built their business.
Yeah,
and it's direct to consumer. 99% of the business. But big guilty, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say. So, do you remember the old Nat Sherman in Times Square? Well, right next to Grand Central.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I work right next door to there.
Really?
Cool. Yeah, right at for the Hyatt Hotel. So now that place, so the Nat Sherman now is a distillery.
Really? Wow. Is that right? In New York?
In New York. Wow. It is now a distillery. And when I tell you, it's always line to get in. It's like a trendy place to go to.
I love it.
It's so, it's insane. It's insane the way that cannabis has blown up, because in New York and New Jersey, it's legal.
Right.
So it's legal up here. So if you have an authorized distillery, man, the line is there's one place in Newark where the line to get to park is about 3-4 blocks long for people to come in. They have to have policemen go in and direct traffic because it's so blocked up of people trying to get into that distillery.
That's
Wow,
great.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's nice,
hey,
nice to hear. Can
yeah,
I interrupt you
it's
for a second? Yeah.
go for it. Yes,
I just
yes,
read.
of course.
It said this is a raisin line
Oh yeah,
martini.
that's Zach. That's Zach. He wants to know if there's a story behind the Angel Cuesta shade and the Angel Cuesta.
There is, yeah. And thank you for asking that question, Zach. So, Angel, if you go when you come down to Tampa, we have the last working cigar factory in the United States, and
Hmm.
which is we make 65,000 cigars a day on these hand operated machines, cigar machines, and we have 10 rollers, and they're allowed to make up to 100 cigars per day. So they're making about a quarter of 225,000 handmades. One of the American is the first brand. The second brand was Angel Cuesta. And Angel Cuesta, the reason we used the name Angel Cuesta, the top of our building, it says home of Cuesta Ray cigars. It's right on
Wow,
Interstate 4. You can see it. You get about 40,000 people a day pass through there. And so Angel Cuesta, was the founder of Cuesta Ray, and that's where the name came from. We have two rollers that make the Angel Cuesta. We had
wow,
the first Angel Cuesta. The line was an Ecuador Havana seed. The second one is a Nicaragua a shade, and it is not because it's these are our brands, but they're absolutely delicious. I'll send you Big Guilty and Fred. I'll send you samples of everything we make by hand on that third floor. From
wow. We
Drew
appreciate that.
Oh, of course. And be sure you email me the address where you can
Yeah,
send it to you.
I'll have Fred send out the email. I'll just send Fred
Okay.
my address, and then he'll be able to send y'all both our addresses that
As
way.
you know, as a matter of fact, when
That'd be easier.
after the show, Bobby, you stay on. Don't get
Sure.
off.
Yeah,
Then we can talk after the show.
yeah,
Wonderful. Yeah,
yeah,
I would love to. Thank you for saying that. I want
yeah.
to take going back to Drew and Angel Quest. Drew had this crazy ass, pardon my French, idea. Let's start making cigars by hand in our third floor,
Hmm.
where labor in the United States is 8 times what it is in Nicaragua. And Eric said, we'll do it. But so the first brand that was made in our factory, El Reloj, the factory was opened in 1910. So it's 115 years old. The first brand out of the factory was called the American.
Yep.
So he did all the research, and Drew had this idea: let's make a cigar, one of the first ones in probably the last 100 years, of 100% American grown tobacco, wrapper, binder,
Wow,
flare. So and the boxes will be made in America. The cellophane, the cigar bands, the nail that goes into the box, the hinges. So Jeff, the person, the Florida Senator, is a gentleman named Jeff Borshowitz. He owns 5 Corona cigars, 3 in Orlando. They're huge. 1 in Tampa, where it used to be the
yep.
Davidoff Lounge. Which after 5 years, the contract ran out. It's now the Diamond Crown Lounge there. He's got a beautiful store also in Sarasota. But he's been growing 11 or 12 years in summer in north 20 miles northwest of Walt Disney World. He's been growing
Wow,
as 2 crops a year, and it's called Florida Sun Grown. And we buy all of it, and we send it to our factory in Nicaragua. We pick out the best tobacco, the most beautiful ones.
mm,
The wrap that we make, they're the wrappers for the American, and then we send the rest of the tobacco to Drew Estate, and they use it for filler. They make Drew Estate makes a cigar for Jeff Borchowitz called Florida Sun
wow.
Grown, and
Yes, like
you know,
the Florida Sun Grown.
yeah, and so we've been doing that. And in fact, with Jeff uh, Borchowitz, when Davidoff was there, it was either 5 or 8 year contract, but the number one selling cigar was a Davidoff Tampa, and it
Mm,
retailed for $30, and they pushed it. Great cigar. So Jeff Borchowitz had this idea: let's make a Diamond Crown, and the filler would be from the Florida Sun Grown, and we'll call it Diamond Crown Tampa. And
mm.
we didn't set the price on it. Jeff set the price. It was $30 retail. My father would be spitting over. He said, because $30 cigar from J.C. Newman, and it is a terrific cigar. It's made in the Fuente factory by. And it's. I'll send you some samples of that too. That's why I'll get your address of this thing. It is.
So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, but I have a question for you. So you talk about the Diamond Crown, you know, the retail, like as far as like the stores. So
Right.
what's your mindset when it comes to the business of opening a location, when it comes to, you know, putting your name behind a location for retail?
Well,
as far as like a store.
Right. So what we do is we have a 17 person sales force coast to coast of the United States, and we sell. That's a lot of accounts, but we find the accounts that, number one, they pay their bills. Number one. Number two, that beautiful stores like OSI in Canton, or we have we have 38 of these stores. In fact, we just opened one, and said we don't own them. What we do is we contract with a tobacconist. The last one, in fact, we just opened it last. I flew out to Yuma, Arizona, and they're usually standalone stores. So that if they're in a strip mall, the nail salon won't complain about the smoke, or if they're next to a pizza parlor. But they all have to have lounges, and we have a whole program. And we do all the POS, point of sale. They get beautiful Diamond Crown shirts and hats and beautiful paintings for their wall. And there's obviously a component for if you become a lounge, you get an extra 5% on all the Diamond Crown sales at the end of the year. And Diamond Crown's a big brand for us. It's over 1 million sticks a year, and growing. And it was my dad's idea. Diamond Crown was an old brand. Our grandfather had registered through the patent office, over 100 brands. So we took an old brand called Diamond Crown. You can see the original one from the 20s. I think it was like a 10-cent cigar. But my father wanted to come out when he turned 80. Before he turned 80, he said, I want to come out. I want to have the best cigar that's ever been made. At the time, it came out in 1980, 1995. And at the time, the Connecticut shade was everyone loved the shade. It was very, very hot selling cigar. There you go. There's the El Baton too.
I'm smoking the PMD Corojo. Oh man, this Corojo right here is money.
Well, the Pearl de Mar is again one of our grandfather's old brands, and we never used Corojo wrapper until about 5 years ago. And
really, wow.
Yeah, I love the wrapper. It's been one of the most popular wrappers we've had since the Ecuador Havana seed. But I
love Corojo wrapper. Love Corojo wrapper.
Well, it makes my heart feel good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. Hold on, wait. We got a question up here. Hold on, just a minute. Now I wanna. Let's see. Oh, Darshan asked the question: is there any other brand that you enjoy smoking, Bobby?
Well, yes, because we have a stable of brands from Brickhouse to Pearl de Mar to Diamond Crown Maximus, Diamond Crown Julius Caesar, the Black Diamond. I tell you, the most unique cigar that we've come out with in 50 years, it's a brand called the Yagua, if you ever heard of it.
Yes. The
Yagua.
Man.
I remember when the Yagua first came out, and I remember That's when I like I was getting into doing cigar reviews on YouTube at the time,
Right.
and being able and I smoked one. I never reviewed it, but I because sometimes you don't want to just all the time you don't want to review a cigar. You just want to sit back and enjoy a cigar for yourself.
Right.
And I haven't smoked one since, but the first one I had. The first batch that came out, it was that cigar was absolutely amazing. That cigar was amazing.
Well, I'll send you some Yagua too. And we we,
Yeah.
we, we release them every 6 months.
What? Yeah, the first time I had one. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Bobby. I was gonna
No,
go ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead. Please.
So I was gonna say the first time I had a Jaguar, I was down in Bethlehem. I was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, at the original store for Cigar International.
Right. Oh, I remember that. We had a Christmas. We said the big Christmas thing.
Yeah, so that was the first place that I ever had the Jaguar at, and I had it, and then I bought 5 more, and then I came back again and bought another 5 more. And the guy was like, and then he was like, let me get your number so when I get them back, I can text you. The Jaguar is one of my favorites.
Well, like we can talk about J.C. Newman Cigars all day, and I want to ask what was the story? Because I know you have a story behind every cigar that you guys come out with, and I know when the El Baton came out, I want to know like what was the idea behind the El Baton?
Brent, I keep saying it's a great. No one's ever asked me that, but the story was that it was the first because the monster brand that we have in Nicaragua is called Quorum, the Quorum cigar. Last year, it's the number 1 selling under one brand. It's a
got them right here.
Right. Shout out to Skinny Money. Shout out to Skinny.
Right, great value cigar. And it's medium filled. It's a Cuban sandwich cigar, and as they call it. But our first long filler cigar out of Nicaragua was El Baton. Again, you come to Tampa, and we'll talk about.
I'll be down there next month.
Okay, well,
I'll be there next month.
I'll be Let me tell you, I'll be in Tampa the whole month, except we have a sales meeting, and second week. I'm just pulling out my
I'll be down there the last week of January.
I will be there. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
And when we get off, I'll give you all my cell numbers. I live and breathe by cell. I get over 100. I'm sorry. I live and breathe by texting. I get 100 texts. I get over.
You know what, Bobby? That's a compliment because my dad. And shout out to my dad. Because he watches the show the next day, and he'll call me. And he'll go, oh, did you have to say that? Did you have to say that? My dad watches every show.
Yeah, and we talk a lot of shit on this show, Bobby. We talk.
Yeah, and so he goes. So he's always he doesn't know how to text yet at all. When I get a text from him, it's like the most surprising thing ever.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why are you texting me? He's like, oh, I'm trying to figure it out.
God bless.
I'm trying.
What's your father's name?
Same as mine, Innocent. So it goes Innocent the first. I'm Innocent the second, and my son is Innocent the third.
Oh, I love that. Well, Innocent the first, you've raised a fine young man. And,
Thank you.
Send me a picture of Innocent the third too.
I will.
Okay. That is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
man.
So that was the story. So we brought El Baton. It's an old brand a grandfather had. But it's when you come down to Tampa, we have a 3-story museum of his first brands. And El Baton, it means the original brand. The El Baton means the baton. The baton a conductor used.
Yeah.
And you'll see it. The old labels from over 100 years ago. A conductor with a baton. So that's what's great about our industry is we all compete against each other, but I tell you, we all got in the industry got very, very close with each other.
Mm-hmm.
The family companies, because of talking about Padrones, Rocky, Florida Dominicana. Let's see, Drew Estate, Oliva, because these family companies, we all work together when to fight the FDA. And as you know, we got deregulated, which was, it is so hard to, Fred, you're a history teacher, is that right?
Yes, sir.
I got a great story to tell you in a minute, but we all have passions. Some people like to fish. Some people like to go hunting. My great passions in life are the latest on health, and I'll send you some stuff. We'll talk about it. About intermittent fasting, the miracle of intermittent fasting, and there's how to stay healthy, and the other, I love it. When I was a forestry miner up in my brother and I went to school in the mountains of Tennessee. It's called the University of the South, and I was a forestry miner. I love reading about alternative energy, and I drive a Tesla, and I have right above me we have 68 Tesla solar panels. And our electric bill is $25 a month, and because we have 2 Tesla large batteries outside, so they make, we're fortunate in Florida. We have a lot of sunshine, and when it's cool, the cooler it is, if you got a clear sky, the more electricity it makes. So what it does, it powers the house, a 2-story house, and then what it doesn't use, it sends back to these Tesla large batteries. And at nighttime, the batteries power the house when the sun's down. And that's, Elon Musk is a genius. I don't know if you know this. Have you ever heard of SpaceX?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we have.
And I'm sure you've seen the pictures of Elon. They land the first stage of the rocket. They land it. They can land it on in the water on a pontoon and so forth. Anyways, latest thing, he's coming out with he's just announced last week, and you can fact check this, but he's going to take SpaceX public, and it's going to come out, right, looks like at $400 a share, which is a lot of money, but it'll be valued at between $800 million and $1.3 trillion. And what he's doing is he's going to send 1,000 satellites up, and these AI centers they're building across America.
That's the way of the future.
Right. And they take a lot of power, and you have to keep them cool. So his thinking is that these satellites will become miniature AI holding stations, if you will, if that's the right word, because it's every satellite in the world up in space, where they get the power from is solar, and that's free. It comes from the sun. And they all have batteries, but also space is very, very, it's bitter cold there, as you know.
Right.
And so this is his latest thing, and he's building a robot. I can't think of the name of it. It's one word, and he's going to start sending these robots to build a large. Go ahead.
So, do you ever think that robots will take away the rollers for cigars?
I think hell will freeze over first.
Yeah.
To answer your question, that there's a better chance of having a blizzard in Key West in August with 10 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Not happening. No.
Yeah.
No. You know what, Bobby? It's a question here from Zach. Zach said, "Oh, I had this question too. Speaking of regulation, he said Drew said he petitioned the government to allow the sale of Cuban tobacco before doing a full embargo lift.
Right.
Did he ever get a response on that?
No, he did not. And in fact, I asked him that a couple of weeks ago, and but the fact that he was able to talk to them, I'm going to send you. There's a it's like a podcast, well, almost like a documentary. It's called Hand Rolled by J.C. Newman.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but Carlito.
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, thank you. I had nothing to do with it, but the story. But I never heard. There's Fidel Castro speaking English when he was in New York. And
Wow.
And on that handled by J.C. Newman, really cool. But so Drew is it's funny. No, he has not heard back from the government. But
so I'm sorry. I just have one question for you, Bobby. Now, in your opinion, if that embargo was lifted, do you feel like Cuba would be able to keep up with the demand of the American market?
That's it. Well, you guys are asking great questions. I'm serious. Here's the situation in Cuba, that the Cuban people are the most wonderful people in the world. They're very, I've never been down there. My brother's not been down there. We were supposed to go when President Trump was in the first time. We were going to go on like a cruise. And I'd love to go, but the fields, even when they don't. And I know this is a public forum, so have to be, but this is public information that I don't want to get myself killed, so I won't. I'll tell you this off.
That's fine. That's fine.
This thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's going to take years and years to redevelop that land again. They don't have there's a shortage of fertilizer. Listen, they can. It's poor people. There's no electricity. They have rolling blackouts. We've got about 30 young Cubans that working. In fact, for us, all the rollers are from Cuba. They all have relatives. I don't know if you keep up with the news, but they've been having terrible problems with electricity in Cuba. And
wow.
So it's listen. I'm gonna have to switch to my wife's computer because
that's totally fine. We'll be here waiting for you.
Yeah,
we'll be here waiting for you.
Okay, let me just hang on 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, and we'll in the meantime, I guess we'll look at some comments.
Yeah,
but but in the meantime, man, Fred, let me ask you this, Fred.
What's up, bro?
Why you still 8 and 10 for, man?
Hey, man, what you talking about? Hey, listen. I'm in the corner of my tent, bro. There's a lot more room over there. It's just over here. Like the chair is up against the tent because like the wind was blowing today.
Yeah.
And so it, that man. Listen, and like where I'm at, I'm on concrete, so it's not in the ground. So
okay, yeah.
Trying to, I got a couple of sandbags to hold the front. But man, that wind today was fierce, bro. It was fierce.
No,
man,
I came outside
this morning. Bro, I came outside this morning. My little table setup was blown over. Like the tent was pushed. I was like, oh man.
Do you guys get tornadoes in Dallas?
Man, they call Dallas Tornado Alley, bro.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing. We don't get tornadoes as much as like out in Oklahoma, but when a tornado hits Oklahoma, 9 times out of 10, we're in a direct line. So like that's why they call us a part of the tornado alley. So that's just how it goes.
Like for me, up here we don't get no tornado. Well, you don't get them up here.
Hey, Zach giving you shit because you said distillery instead of dispensary.
Hey, listen, it don't matter. Hey, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Listen. Hey, listen. They be up in there making drinks concoctions too with that weed. So it's a distillery slash distillery because they be making some they be making some stuff up in there. I'm gonna try not to curse. We got a guest on, so I'm trying not to curse.
Hell no, shit. That's me. I'm a cuss. God damn it. But listen, for those who are in here until Bobby comes back, what are you smoking? For those, if you're drinking something, I know I'm drinking tonight. My beverage of choice is Chivas Regal.
Oh yeah.
Tonight, Zach.
So I was a good boy, and I'm drinking some ginger ale.
And just like
I'm a good boy tonight.
I can't hear you.
What? You can't hear me again?
I can't hear you.
Oh, It might be my earpiece. Hold on.
It went out. It went out when Bobby left.
Okay. All right. Hold on. All right. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead. I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? All right. I'm gonna drop off. I'll be right back.
All right. I locked it down. Oh, Darshawn said he locked it down. We got to talk about that later on the Discord. Now, listen, this is a good time for us to shout out to our partner, Small Batch. Also, if you want to get any J.C. Newman,
Yep.
it is available on Small Batch. You guys know you can get on Small Batch. Use our code Avengers. That gets you 15% off on your order.
15% off is pretty damn sweet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen, that's what I want to ask him when Bobby comes back. I have a good question about the Tampa smokers. Because, listen, I don't know if anybody has smoked the Tampa smoker yet. I've smoked it, and I really liked it. I think Steven said it was I don't know if it hit for him or I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. But speaking of Tampa, I would say, Fred, if there's one place, it's two places I could move to. Well, three, because now Steven got me hooked on Chesapeake's pretty nice. Can't lie about that. Chesapeake's pretty nice, but Tampa, man, when I go to Tampa, man, it's different, man. Like it's so nice. That's like my dad looked at me, I looked at him, and he goes, my dad goes, I can move here. All my dad ever talk about is moving back to New York. That's all he ever talk about. It's coming back up north.
Yeah.
And we was in Tampa driving around, and man, we like, man, I could live here. Like Tampa's nice, man.
Hey, Stogie P said we gotta hit Tampa Cigar Week, bro.
Yo, I'm down, man. Listen, man, I'm gonna be in Tampa because like I said, like I got senior night for 3.0. So he went 5-0 today. He wrestled some bums. And me and him gonna have a long talk. I don't know if anybody's seen my story, but he got a pen, and his coach was telling him to smile. And while he's pinning the kid, he turns and smiles while pinning the kid.
That's how he gonna do you.
Yeah, right.
That's how he gonna do you.
He first of all, he not hitting me with that shitty ass lat drop that he do. That's number one. And the second thing too, man, is he just go back to the same, like he goes back to where he's comfortable, and being comfortable is not going to get him to where he needs to be. Like he needs to because he wrestled two kids. He should have 30 seconds. He could have did anything he wanted and would have beat the kids. Like one kid didn't even know a stance. And I'm like, yo, why you playing with your food? I'm watching. I'm like, why you playing with your food? He should that kid shouldn't have been on the map for 30 seconds.
Well, shit. I mean, you can't be mad at the kid for playing with his food. Look what Anthony Joshua did last night.
Listen, let me tell you. Yeah, play up, man. No,
he broke that man's jaw in two places.
I will say this: I give Jake Paul credit because he took some big shots at the end. And but the thing too is Joshua knew that he wasn't in boxing shape. It's a whole different thing, and that was my thing too with Jake was, if your strategy was to run and to move around, dude, run. Like because all that jabbing and shit, you know that shit already. Do your road work. That's my problem with guys like James Toney. James Toney had the most talent in the fucking world. Didn't want to fucking run.
I'm gonna tell you.
All he want to do is spar.
So for those who don't know, Mike Tyson confirmed that he's going to be having an exhibition match against Floyd Mayweather. And
oh my God!
It's going to be in Africa. It's going to be in Africa.
Why?
They're doing it. They are doing it.
Why?
They are doing it, bro.
You know what my thing is I don't think. Here's my thing. I think Floyd is so fast. Like Floyd has the best straight to me in boxing in history.
But it's an exhibition, though. I mean,
yeah, but because my thing is Floyd's gonna pop him. Just so because it's not gonna hurt Mike at all. But he gonna hit him with that pull back, that catch straight that Floyd does. Man, listen, that's how Floyd won his fights because he would bait you. He'll come in, he'll catch it and throw that straight. Floyd had one of the best straights in the business, man.
He did. He really did.
Him and Andre Ward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Andre Ward. He's so underrated, man. So underrated.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Like, because if he would have went and fought the guys that he was supposed to fight at when he could have, he would have been at Terrence Crawford level.
Yeah. Oh, and also in that news too, Bud
he retired.
He is retiring.
He good. Listen, Bud is good, man.
Yeah, he is. Now, wait. I gotta switch over to basketball real quick because I saw a comment from Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey said that Michael Jordan is average. He said he wait. This is what he said. He's average, and what he does is way better than Michael Jordan could ever be.
See, this the problem with these kids. This is the problem with these kids.
I didn't even know who the hell Ace Bailey was.
Exactly. No, but it's like
who does he play for?
I think he plays for Utah.
Yeah, he a college kid. Get out of here, bro.
He's got drafted to Utah.
Bro, this is worse than Paul Pierce saying that he. That's worse than Paul Pierce saying that he was a better scorer than Michael Jordan.
You know, it was amazing. I went because when I was talking to Joe, you know, and we're sitting down, and Joe was like, "These kids have no fundamentals. They're all cone athletes. Everything is cones. Everything is specialty. Yo, these coaches, these specialty coaches, are basically just fucking thieves. That's all they are. All these specialty coaches are thieves because, like my boy, like Coach JB says, all these guys go and get these specialty QB coaches so they can throw from all these fucking arm angles, but they can't read the defense.
That's true.
You know, like none of these guys sit there and are able to read defenses.
That's
you know,
true.
And Joe said in basketball, these kids don't even know how to do a back screen. Like they don't even know how to do a fucking screen. How pathetic is that?
Hey, I'll be right back. You talk to the people. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. It's time. It's time for me to go on my rant now. Hey, Bobby.
I'm back. I'm on my wife's cell phone. Sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah. You know, I was like before you got on, I was about to go on my sports rant because every week we go through sports topics and you know like we talk amongst cigars, but more just friendly banter. You know, like
Absolutely.
now. You know, I will because Fred has a question for you now. So since you're from Cleveland,
yes, sir.
Are you a Browns fan?
Absolutely, but it's been very. You have to be humble. Got to be like Jesus and turn the other cheek because the Browns are one of the few NFL teams that never been to the Super Bowl, as you know.
You know, so I've been listening to a lot of Cleveland media lately, the whole year pretty much, because it's just such an interesting story with Shador.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like now you're a Cleveland fan. What do you think? What do you think the Browns should do? Do you think they should draft another quarterback, or should they keep Shador and just draft other pieces?
I think they should get a new owner, but
yeah.
Remember, you know they're moving. You know they have that beautiful stadium downtown, and they're moving it by the airport, and they've had the worst luck, as you know. And you know, I like I say, I remember when Jimmy Brown was playing. I don't know if you remember or heard of him. He was a great running back.
Of course, one of the greatest.
So,
one of the greatest from Syracuse.
Anyway, you know, when
because I don't know what they should do. My brother and I played small Division III college up in
Yeah.
Tennessee, and of course that's like they should have been Division 8. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
I that's a great question because they've had some great players over the years, and
Yeah.
they
They
just
have.
ever since they came back, they started Art Modell took the team to Baltimore. They
Yep.
became the Ravens,
Yep.
and ever since they've come back, it's been a challenge for them. I don't know why.
You do have Miles Garrett who's gonna break the sack record this year.
Oh, can't hear you.
Well, Fred just came back. Can you hear me now, Bobby? Uh Fred, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
All right,
now
I'm
I
gonna
can hear
drop
you.
off.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
so
Now I
but I
was
was saying
saying,
I don't know what to do about the Browns.
well, well,
It's
you guys
it's
have
been a
Miles
big
Garrett.
challenge, and
You guys had
and we all have opinions. I don't have an opinion. My opinion is I don't know what to do
He
with
can't hear
them.
you.
yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like now, Fred. I was asking him
Oh,
because tell him at least he has Miles Garrett to look forward to.
Oh, he said, said, at least you have Miles Garrett.
but yes, yes, we do. Oh, yeah. We're very
Now,
fortunate for that.
now,
Yes.
Bobby, I gotta ask you real quick. We're gonna get back to sports, but I've been wanting
Yeah.
to ask you this question. Um, the Tampa Smoker,
Right. Oh,
that cigar, Liz, I love that cigar, and I think that cigar is underappreciated.
I agree.
I think that cigar is kind of overlooked. Um, that was a great cigar, and also me being a baseball player myself. Um, I really respect the backstory on that cigar. Is there? I mean, just for those who don't know the story, can we get that story about how that cigar came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all, Drew and my brother and I, we think every brand should have a story. Tampa, uh, Tampa was back in the day in '50s and '60s. We used to have the Cincinnati Redlegs when they were called. They used to have
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, their uh, spring training was always this was their headquarters. George Steinbrenner. I don't know if you know that George Steinbrenner tried to buy the Cleveland Indians and they wouldn't sell
No
it.
way.
Yeah.
Really. Hey,
Yes. And
listen. I love George. Will always have a special place for me. His son Hal. Oh, forget about it. Like,
yeah.
because I'm a big Yankee fan. I'm from New York, so I'm a big Yankee
Right.
fan.
Right.
But
And
listen, George was the boss. George goes, I want him, and him. How much does he want? Just sign the check. I
Right.
want him.
Right. Right.
You
Exactly.
know?
No, George. I think you can fact check this. I think George paid $12 million for the Yankees, and
Yep.
they're worth about 7 billion. I think now.
Yeah. Well, so the thing was, because when he first bought it, he bought it with CBS.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So
Really?
when he first bought it, he bought it with CBS, and then he bought CBS out of the Yankees.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
and
didn't.
then and then he took it over himself.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
man.
it's
Right.
yeah. Oh, Tampa Smokers though. So
Yeah.
there was a minor league team called the Tampa Smokers, and it's been defunct for decades. And Drew had an idea. Let's come out with a brand Tampa Smokers, and be a box of 10, and then laying on right on the top of the cigars in a groove would be a cigar, handmade cigar that looks just like a
Hmm.
baseball bat, and the bat itself would be it'd be Connecticut broadleaf, dark wrapper, uh, and the top of the bat, the like the top half an inch would be Connecticut broadleaf, just to give it some pizzazz. And you can smoke the cigar too. So
Wow.
uh, it's and it's funny. All the cigars that we make up on the third floor. Angel Quest. Well, first one was the American, then Angel Cuesta. The third one was Leroy Neiman for all of us old guys, Leroy Neiman was a famous painter, and when Sports Illustrated, when magazines were relevant, this Leroy Neiman used to paint football. We paint famous baseball players, football players, hockey players, and much of his work ended up on the cover of Sports Illustrated when Sports
Wow.
Illustrated was huge, and so there the excuse me, um, Leroy Neiman died a few years ago, and his foundation contacted Drew, and they wanted us to make a private label for him called Leroy Neiman. And Drew thought about it. He said, "How about we do this? We'll make the cigar for you. We will not make any money. We'll put it in writing, but we'd like to have 100% of the profit from that cigar, the Leroy Neiman cigar, to go to the Hillsborough County, which is a local county here, to the public school arts department, because the first thing in public education at the high school level they cut is the art department, and and we asked them if they would send us photos of his most famous paintings, and at the bottom of the box has is it's three-dimensional. When you put your fingers, it's the drop cloth from his studio. You can feel all the paints and see all the paintings on it. The label on in the box is every year we change it. We come out with a different cigar, different size cigar. It's the same blend, but different size. And like this year's is a torpedo or pyramid cigar, but the when you touch the label and the inside of the box is it's three-dimensional. You can feel exactly where his strokes went, and it's really cool. And then the fourth brand was the Tampa Smokers, and I tell you, they all taste different. They all smoke great, and I love the Tampa Smokers. I mean, I adore that cigar. And when you come to Tampa, we have hand cigar making classes. We'll put you in the hand cigar making class, and just tell us what you want on the band. So after you make the cigars, we'll band the cigars for you, put them in a box, and go from there. But anyway, baseball was huge. There's a gentleman named Al Lopez, uh, who was he was a famous baseball player and became a coach, and he's in the Hall of Fame. You've heard of you've heard of Lou Piniella, correct?
Of course,
Yes,
of
yes.
course,
Yeah, and
of
Lou
course. I
Piniella.
know Lou.
Yeah, and when I was in high school, I used to work out at the same gym. Nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
Uh, I never knew he had a temper until he became the manager of the
the
Yankees.
Yankee. Yeah. Hey, listen, he got to a couple fights in the dugout.
I am sure. I am sure. And and as you know, George Steinbrenner, he's unfortunately died very young. I think he was 80 years
Hmm.
old. He died of Alzheimer's.
Hmm.
But the where the in spring training where the Tampa where the Yankees play,
Yep.
it's a miniature. It seats 7,000 people. It's a miniature of Yankee Stadium
He
now.
stayed. Yep.
And it's got
It's a beautiful stadium.
oh my
It
God, it's gorgeous.
it's right next to Raymond J Stadium.
Right, exactly, and it's uh Tampa's always been a big baseball town, and
Oh,
back as what before now in Arizona they have the Cactus. They call it the Cactus League for
Yeah,
spring.
the
yep.
captain.
Hmm.
But they call the spring training, they call it the Grapefruit League in
Hmm.
Florida, and uh, but there as the teams Major League Baseball expanded, there were not enough locations, so they went to
Yeah.
Arizona. In Arizona in spring, it's the same weather as Tampa: low humidity,
Yeah.
rare rains, and so forth. But baseball has a great history. I tell you another history, if you like sports, the professional wrestling, the epicenter of wrestling was in Tampa, and
Hmm.
back in the 50s to 60s, 70s, and then that's when the wrestlers didn't make any money. But Hulk Hogan went to Chamberlain High School here in Tampa, and
Wow.
his name was his real name was Terry
Terry
Bollea.
Bogard. You Terry Bo- and so- and J- and Jerry Briscoe has a he's big. He's big in the wrestling community down there. They do a tournament for him every year for the
Absolutely.
wrestling.
Exactly. So, Tampa's a great sports. It's a small market relative to New York or Chicago,
Yeah.
but uh, Tampa has a great history of sports. And speaking of sports, the when the Bucks came in 1985, about see 15 about 30 years later, the Tampa Bay Lightning came in, and as you know, they won the Stanley Cup back to back.
Yep.
And we have the only, J.C. Newman has the only cigar bar in Major League Hockey that we know of, that where you can watch the game behind glass. You have there's an open bar, favorite beverage, has 24 food stations on 2 stories. So if when you come, depending, in fact, when we get off, we'll talk more about it, and we'll
Yeah.
look at some schedules. We'll take it to the Lightning game too, and
Yeah.
smoke a.
Wow.
You can smoke one of the J.C. Newman's. We only took 2 brands, J.C. Newman and Arturo Fuente, and those.
Wow.
And it's jammed every night. Got great
Mhm.
smoky and so forth, but it's we've obviously you don't make money doing this thing, but you get a lot of publicity at the end of the
Exactly.
game.
Yeah.
At the when the Lightning win, they show on the jumbotron. Give that man a Diamond Crown cigar. Please visit the J.C.
Yeah.
Newman Cigar Lounge. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's all good
So
stuff.
I have a question for you, Bob, about that.
Oh wait,
Do,
hold on, real quick.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we get to it, we're gonna go ahead. I want to go back because before he had to switch devices, Zach reminded us that he was talking about whether Cuba will
Oh,
be able to keep up with the demand of the American market.
right. And wonderful question. Thank you for asking that. It's going to take at least minimum 5 years. If Cuba were to open tomorrow, everybody would be down there, including us. And I'm not going to speak for the Fuentes, but I mean, when Carlos Fuentes Sr. Unfortunately, he died at 81. Um, but I asked him that question when we became their partners back in 1986. I said, Carlos, Senior, said, if Cuba ever opened up, what would you do? He said, I would be on the first airplane down there. Now, I don't know how Carlito. I've never asked Carlito that question, but I will. And um so uh, it would certainly be Cuba's having so much a lot of problems, the quality problems and so forth. It's still considered by many people, though, United States is forbidden fruit. You
Yeah.
always want something you can't have,
Yep.
and so anyway, I'll talk to you offline about some other
Yeah.
stuff too.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about Costa Rican tobacco, which is one of my more favorite tobaccos?
Yeah, well, there's a guy named Nelson Alfonso who's from
Yeah.
Cuba, and he's
Mm.
making a brand called Atabay and Lord Byron.
Yes. I love Byron's.
Yeah,
Love Byron's.
they're very very well made cigars, and
Yes.
it's funny I saw my first 30. I guess it was $25 or $30 cigar, and at Corona Cigar in Tampa, and I smoked. It was a fine cigar, very very well
Yeah.
made. And
Yeah.
so uh but anyway, it's the cigar world it's a fascinating industry, not because we're in
Hmm.
it, but because I can you have two types of companies. You got the big companies like
Yeah.
Altadis, it's owned by the Chinese,
Hmm.
and Macanudo, Hoyt Monterey, that's owned by a it's owned by
General.
General
Yeah.
Scandinavic Tobacco Company, and
Hmm.
which is it's on a stock exchange, and it's
Wow.
the family companies uh, tend to do better because in my opinion, you've got families running it with tremendous passion. Um, I'm not saying anything wrong, nothing negative against these two large companies, but anyway, it's a
Uh,
interesting world.
I think the one thing when you speak on family, I think people, the average person gets behind a brand where you're able to know the owner, and you're like, man, like he's actually like a good person. Like I spoke to him, I told him, and he appreciates me as a not just as a client, but as a person as well.
Exactly.
So it's much more of that human connection that people are like, man, like I love that brand, and I'm always going to support that brand because I like the people itself that make those cigars.
Well, so, it's funny. I've never heard that said like that, and you're absolutely right. People know Jonathan Drew, even though he
Yeah,
sold the company, uh, and George Padron. People know
yeah,
George, and but you're right. Well, with these larger companies, nothing wrong, but I mean, I don't know. They treat it. It's more corporate than it is
it's
family.
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Zach said you can say it here, Bobby. They suck for the most part anyway.
I can.
Oh man, Zach. I said, oh man, flag,
Yeah,
flag on the play, flag on the play.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Can we strike? Can we strike that from the notes, please? But it's
Yeah,
funny because this is a public forum, and
yeah,
it. Do you? So I assume these shows. You tape these shows. You can go back and look at previous shows.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
great.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
wonderful. There's
yeah.
a friend of ours, two guys, Dave Garofalo, my
Hmm.
brother. My
Mm-hmm.
brother's on the show once. It's called the Cigar Authority, and he does 52
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, 2 hours. He's been doing it for years and years, and he always has his predictions, like in early January, and he talks about his top 10 predictions: who's going to buy who's going to change, what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen, are they going to trend up or down, or whatever. It's uh, the and there are a lot of great podcasts as well. And I mean, during COVID, I did uh, because everyone was scared to death. We're all scared. All Americans were scared.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
the last pandemic was in 1918, and there's no one around to say, "Hey, what went on then?" So
Mm-hmm.
we sent half of our factory workers home for a week. Said, "Look, you go home. We'll pay you, and we'll call you when to come back, a week or two, because we had a social distance." And uh, no one had any idea that people would stay home. The average American seemed to be drink more and smoke premium cigars, handmade
Oh
cigars,
yeah. Yep.
and the industry went crazy at that time. Those were tough times, but great
Well,
time, great for the industry.
well, it's great because your guy who smoked one cigar a day ended up smoking 3 cigars a day. That
Right,
turned into 4 to 5 cigars a day.
exactly.
So your guy who smoked one cigar a week, he ended up smoking a cigar once a day.
Right,
Because they had the time and everybody was working from home. So while you're working from home, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be at home while you're working, having a cigar.
right. And you couldn't go anywhere. A lot of
Yeah,
restaurants were closed, and
yeah.
there's a famous restaurant in Tampa called the Columbia, and New
Mm.
York City. It's owned by Richard Gonsmart, and I had lunch with him the day before he closed. Yeah, he has 14 different restaurants. He's got a Columbia restaurant there in St. Armand's Key, which is Sarasota. He's got him at Disney World outside of Disney. He's got him in St. Augustine, right, which is the oldest city, one of the oldest cities in America. And had lunch with him, and he said, "Bobby, tomorrow I'm going to lay off all 1,400 of my employees, and I'm going to pay every one of them." I went, "Oh my
Wow,
God!"
that's amazing.
And yeah, and they all came. 98% came back, and
Hmm.
he's it's he did the right thing, but not everybody can do that.
Well, you know what? But it's loyalty as well.
Oh, absolutely.
You
You
know,
know,
I think loyalty is everything. Like, because when when you're loyal to people and you're giving people the same love that they give you back, and it's not
Right.
because sometimes it's not about a paycheck.
Right. Of course.
It's not about a
No.
paycheck, and they're like, we're grateful for this, but we want to be able to get back to work. And
Exactly. Oh
You
yeah.
and
know,
once we, and,
we know all about loyalty. We Cowboys fans, bro.
yeah, listen,
Oh
uh,
my God. Yeah. 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 Oh
yeah,
man.
listen, being a Cowboy fan is like being in a domestic abuse relationship. No, but
Yeah.
come back. Well, we won't do it again. I promise. I won't do it again. And we keep just strolling back every year. Go ahead, Jerry. Beat
Every
us up
year.
again, Jerry. Beat us up again,
Every year,
Jerry.
man.
Beat us up
That's
again.
funny.
You
Uh,
know. Hey, you're a Browns fan, so you know. So you
Yeah.
you also know as well.
well, I always tell people when I'm giving a tour, I said, my brother and I we have an inferiority complex. We're from Cleveland, which is a great city,
Yeah.
the worst
Yeah.
weather in the world.
Worse. Yeah.
And they got 10 months of winter. The last time the Cleveland Indians, now that they changed the name Guardians, but last time the Cleveland Indians won the World Series was 1948. There's a picture.
Wow.
And there's a picture in the museum of my father giving a box of cigars to Larry Doby. Every time,
Wow.
every time we had a promotion in Cleveland,
Yeah.
every time the Cleveland Indian would hit a home run, they got a box of cigars. A big brand after World War II was called Student Prince, and Larry
Wow.
Doby. I know Larry Doby was the first African American in the American leagues. He
Yeah.
came in 6 weeks after Jackie Robinson, and then
Wow.
you'll see that picture of him in 1948, and then 51 years later, my father, Stanford, and Larry Doby, they reenacted the same scene, and it was at the home of where the Tampa Bay Rays play, and Tropicana
Wow.
Field. And there's in our museum there's a picture of our grandfather with his four brothers and two sisters, and our great grandmother and a great grandfather. Our great grandmother looks like a Russian hammer thrower or shot putter. Short,
you know,
squat, and
I would say this. Oh, go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no. I just want to tell
Uh,
you, but it's that
uh,
history repeats itself. The reason our grandmother, she wore the pants in the family. They fled the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1888, and the reason they left is
wow.
because the emperor was taking all the males 13 years old into the army, and the slaughter rate was 90%. And if it hadn't been for our great grandmother who wore the pants, I wouldn't be on this
Yeah.
podcast talking to you.
Oh,
Really,
yeah. You know, I would
it's
say people from Cleveland are proud people.
oh
One
my,
of my bosses, she is Cleveland through and through. So her father went to Ohio State, mother went to Ohio State. All four of her brothers, including herself, went to Ohio State. So
wow.
she is the biggest. So she is the biggest Ohio State, everything Cleveland Browns. She talks about Cleveland chili. And
Right.
so
That that
so
that, that
she's
and
like, I go. No, I think it's called Skyline Spaghetti or something like that, where it's chili
oh
and spaghetti.
yeah, actually
You know.
actually the skyline. You're right. That's Cincinnati.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
down the
yeah.
skyline. But let me tell you though, Cleveland, um, you talk about bad luck. Baker Mayfield played there, and it was
Uh-huh.
a disaster. We get
Uh.
Baker. When I heard Baker Mayfield was coming to Tampa, I wanted to throw up. I said, "Are you kidding me? The guy's a loser." So he comes the first season. He's the only NFL quarterback that instead of sliding, he was always leading with his head,
Yeah.
and he signed a 1 year contract. I think it was for $1 or $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
He had such a good year. He signed 100. Second year, he had $100 million contract, of which I think 60% is guaranteed. And he's
Mm-hmm.
had he's been one of the top quarterbacks, whether you like him or not, in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Well,
just
it's. I think it's the Tampa Water because Brady went down there and did the same thing. So
oh
I think
yeah,
it's something in the Tampa Water.
It must be. When I heard a rumor Tom Brady was going to come to Tampa, I said, "There's no freaking way. Why would a winner like that come to Tampa?" And and I tell you, it was amazing. And so it's but here Cleveland had Baker Mayfield, and did not only that, going back, my brother and I used to collect baseball
Carl,
cards,
yeah,
and so Cleveland had Roger Maris. Again, you can fact check this. Roger Maris, he hit 60 home runs for the Yankees,
yep,
and
wow,
but Cleveland had him first, and they had these great players, and it's the Cleveland unlucky strict, I guess.
yeah, but you guys had Harmon Killebrew also, right?
That's yeah, yeah. We traded him, yeah, and
Oh my,
oh God, it's yeah. We had Rocky Calavita. We traded him. It's just it's for some. Cleveland reminds me of Haiti. The
yeah,
uh, they've had the worst history, the worst luck
hmm
down there. Listen, back in the 50s or early 60s, Haiti people used to go to vacation there in Port-au-Prince.
hmm
Now it's like going to Afghanistan in the height of the
hmm
Afghan war. You would never go
yeah,
there.
the government, yeah, because the government is corrupt.
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
you know how I found out about Harmon Killebrew through watching ESPN Classic Sports when they used to do the home run derby, and
Right.
they
Oh yeah.
and they would give each player $1,000 for winning the home run derby. So they would have guys like Hank Aaron, uh, Harmon Killebrew. They would have all these guys that were home run hitters.
Right. Right.
You know,
I know.
and
And
it,
listen, so you remember the Milwaukee Braves? Uh,
yes,
So I saw Hank Aaron play at Al Lopez Field. A tiny field held about 5,000 people, and I saw him with my brother. God, I must have been 8 years old, but he was deep in right field, and he threw a ball. Someone was stealing second place, and he threw him out at home plate. The ball obviously
wow,
and the ball skipped right into the pitcher, and I went, God, who is that guy? And who's Hank Aaron? No one ever heard of Hank Aaron
yeah, uh
before.
huh,
And I tell you another funny story, another Cleveland story that back in 1966, I was 15 years old. Now you know how old I am. My mother dropped me off at Jesuit High School, Catholic school, and they had the annual Jesuit Invitational, and they had the four large colleges in America, four colleges in state of Florida at the time:
hmm
University of Florida, Florida A&M, Florida State, and University of Miami. And they had, and because I ran track all through high school and college, and so again, no phone. My mom dropped me off, uh, and I saw way in the distance, and there's maybe a couple hundred people there, and I walked on the infield, and I want to watch the 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 shot and discus folks, uh, and I saw this really handsome African American way coming towards me, walking, uh, and he looked so familiar. And I went up to him. I said, "Sir," and I'm an extrovert. I said, "Sir, my name's Bobby Newman. What's your name?" And uh, God Almighty, I'm having a senior moment. Um, uh,
It's
this is the
okay.
gentleman from Cleveland. Let me see. And I'm so excited about this story. I forget. The gentleman. This was 30. This was 30 years after the 1936 Olympics in Munich, and he was from Cleveland, Ohio. Went to Ohio State, uh, and it was, oh my God, I can't believe it. He was the great. He won four gold medals in the Olympics. Um, and unfortunately, he died too young as well.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I don't, let me see. Let me see. Hang on one second.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey Siri. Who won four gold medals in the 1936 Olympics? Hang on a second. It's working. I'm gonna have to. I'm still here.
You're good, Bobby. I'm looking at this question from our friend Sal. He wanted to ask you when you get a chance.
Okay, 1 second. Metals.
Oh, sorry, Fred.
No, you good, bro.
Yeah.
He Bobby, he looking up the guy he's talking about right now.
Oh, what happened? Yeah, so no, I had to help my mom out real quick.
1 second.
Yeah, yeah, she go.
He's looking up the guy he's telling us a story about right now.
Mm. Oh, so what team did he play for, Bobby?
Jesse
Well,
Owens.
thank you. God, how can I forget, dear Jesse Owens? And I
Yeah,
went up to him and I introduced myself. I said, "What's your name? What's your name?" He said, "My name is Jesse Owens." And I almost fainted. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I've seen highlights of you in the 1936 Olympics, and we won four. He won 4 gold medals, and Adolf Hitler walked out of the stadium."
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he
Mm-hmm.
was he was trying to say that the Aryan race was superior. And here's Jesse Owens, just incredible. And to see, of
Mm-hmm.
course, he everyone he still is a legend,
Yeah,
and
most
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
as you know. But anyway, a lot of great stories. You know, the three of us we could take we could leave Dallas and go to Seattle, Washington, get a driver, get our favorite beverage, favorite cigars, and we could tell stories to each other
All
for
day.
about four,
Oh, all
for
day,
all day and all
Yeah.
night. Exactly.
all
You
night.
know, one of the great things about Olympics, I'm sorry, about cigars is if you put the Democrats and Republicans in one room and everyone smoked a cigar, we could settle a lot of things.
Oh,
A
most
lot of
definitely,
problems.
most
Uh,
definitely, most
you know,
definitely.
but you said you had a question, sir.
Oh yeah. So Sal, this question comes from brother Sal. He said,
Hey, what's up,
Mister.
Sal?
I know, man. Sal been in here listening. Shout out to Sal, man. Sal said, he said, Mr. Newman, as a line extension, would you consider making a Diamond Crown natural in a smaller ring gauge, such as a Corona, Corona Gorda, Lancero, or Lonsdale?
Well, I tell you, that's been asked so longer. And I tell you, we made a great question, sir, and we made our first Diamond Crown. It is like a 50 ring gauge because the Diamond Crown it's all 54 ring gauges. The Diamond Crown Classic, Connecticut, and the Connecticut Broadleaf Maduro. But we came out for our 130th anniversary. We came out with a originally 130 humidors, and in that is called the Diamond Crown Classic number 9, and it's a pyramid shaped cigar and it's a 50 ring gauge. But yeah, we get asked that all the time. And when my father developed, this was his idea before he died for his 80th, before he turned 80. Uh, he went to Carlito and said, "I want to make the best cigar that's ever been made. Connecticut shade wrapper. I want to double ferment the wrapper to make you sweat out all the impurities." So I don't care what it costs to make. I don't care how much, if we sell any of them. And it was a line of all 54 ring gauge cigars. And this was 19, let's see, we launched it in, let me see, 90, I want to say 95, 1990, yes. 'Cause, and my brother and I said, "Well, Dad, what happens if somebody wants to smoke a smaller ring gauge?" My father said, "Let them smoke something else. This is all 54 ring gauge." And the largest
Mm-hmm.
cigar made at the time in Dominican Republic was just pumping out. It was the number 1 by far. It's before Nicaragua got so big. Uh, but no, the largest cigar made was a 52 ring gauge. So the Fuentes had to
Wow.
go. They had to go out and make all new 54 ring gauge cigars. 54, which was a thick cigar. Today the 6 by 60 is a standard size. As
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's one of the best selling cigars. Now I've seen ring gauges as big as 90 and also 100. And
Yes.
you could you could use it for a pole vault or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
no, it's
Well,
crazy.
Now, so
yeah.
now we're getting so we're at 2 hours 15 minutes. This has been an awesome show. This has
Yeah.
been awesome getting a chance to talk to you. Of course, if I wish we can go like super like longer because
No, no, no.
it's so many questions that I know we didn't get a chance to get to. But of course, I know we're gonna have you again on the show. But
Well, thank you.
before we get off, well, we're really on this podcast. We're really big on men's mental health, and we always ask our guests and everybody that we ask each other every week, how are you doing mentally, physically, and emotionally? So I want to ask you, Mister Newman, how are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally? How are you doing?
Well, I tell you, to answer that question, if I was any better, I'd be you. Let me tell you. No, I tell you, you were talking about a little about what 10, 15 minutes ago about someone like an abused child or something. So my brother and
Mhm.
I together we've been in the business 103 years, and 90% of those years have been very challenge years, not only for
Mhm.
us but for the entire industry. And when this is it's a real business now. It's a great industry because now we have women coming in. COVID, right, good, bad, or indifferent, but COVID brought in hundreds of thousands of not only new smokers, but brought in a lot of women smokers. And
Yep. Mhm.
listen, I was at the new Diamond Crown Lounge in Yuma, and 40% of the people there were women. They were buying cigars for their girlfriends, their boyfriends, their husbands,
Yeah.
uh, and it's a, with cigars, it's not like cigarettes. Cigars, you gotta this. It's a commitment. You
Yeah.
buy a cigar, you smoke a cigar. You're gonna sit around, and you can go to any place in the United States, not know anybody. You walk in there, sit in a lounge, and you come out of there as lifelong friends. And
Uh huh.
it's because it's all about the people in the industry. It's about the people that smoke the product and enjoy the product. And it's one of the most relaxing things that I don't do drugs. As you get older, you can't drink as much as you used to, so I don't drink much. I will tell you this though that you probably don't know, and anyone who's listening, anyone who's 40 years old and up, you need to have an annual blood test because
Mhm.
I finished in July of this past year. I had the beginnings of prostate cancer, and
Oh.
I had 28 rounds of radiation. I'm still on hormone therapy, which my testosterone is 11. Before I got, if you know anything about testosterone, you
Mhm.
gentlemen, you're probably 500 or 600, and but so they had it. I had to be on this because testosterone. Once you have prostate cancer, testosterone feeds it, and so
Mhm.
it'll come back. I'll be finished February 1st. I'm not saying woe is me. I'm on my knees of thanks to God because we
Yeah.
caught it early, and because you have a blood test, you got to check your PSA, and it's coming. And you may or may not have heard this or read this, but things like a cancer of the colon is and
Mm-hmm.
is getting people are getting it
Yep.
younger and younger. They think it's because I asked the doctor, the oncologist, "Well, why is this?" They think it's because I don't know if it's the air or if it's this GMOs, genetically modified food.
Mhm.
You just got to be responsible for your health. So my message is to thank everybody for listening. Thank you. I'm honored to be on this podcast. And I know, can we stay on? Because I like to talk to you afterwards.
Oh yes,
Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
yes. We
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, and I tell you, if you, let me tell you, everyone, anyone who smokes a cigar is my friend, and I love you
Mhm.
guys. And whether it's
Yep.
our brand or someone else's brand, because it's part of the industry, and that's important to keep this
Yes,
industry.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. That's. It's been awesome to have you on. How you doing mentally, physically, emotionally, bro?
Man.
Oh,
I'm pushing through every day, man. It's Christmas time, so it's Christmas time for me is a little harder because like for me, like my sons aren't here. So one's in Tampa, and my younger son lives in South Carolina. So Christmas time for me is it's a little bit harder because I don't have my boys with me. So so what I do for during Christmas, I try to work a lot more, keep my mind going. I try to work a lot more, and you know, uh, and take care of mom. That's it.
Yeah.
Make sure she's good. She just came out here because she was getting kind of hot, so I had to step away, get her some water, cool her down a little bit. So and then and just always just try to keep family first.
Right.
Amen.
That's what it is. To
Amen.
try to keep family and everything.
Yeah.
Fred, how you doing, Fred?
Oh man, I'm doing good, Bobby. I know you don't know this, but me and my wife, we just had our kid number 4.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you,
Uh huh.
thank you. And he's eating up the whole house right now. We don't have any like
Uh huh.
he's like already he's 2 months and he's already pushing 11 pounds.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, listen, if you're looking for an agent, we're available.
The
Okay.
hey,
Uh-huh.
most definitely. But if, of course, it's Christmas time and it's a very important time of the year. And speaking of
Mhm.
Christmas time, one thing um, we always value family, but
Mhm.
also you got to
Family. Yep.
remember this is one of the times where I like to point out where there's someone out there that doesn't have what we're blessed to have. It's
Mhm.
people out there that don't have a family,
Right.
and I
Oh
and
yeah.
I and I say just continue to pray for if you are a believer. Continue to pray for
Absolutely.
those who are
Mhm.
in need. You have some people that they won't have a mom and a dad to celebrate Christmas with, um,
Mhm.
or they had a traumatic loss in their family just recently, and so it's important to keep those people in mind and to pray for those who have been struck harshly during this time, and so I think that's super important.
Mhm.
But other than that, myself, I'm good. The family's good. Getting better every day.
Knees getting better.
Knees definitely getting better, bro. Knees definitely getting better. I'll be back in action by the time PCA comes.
Oh,
So,
all right.
Did you? But did you hurt your knee, Fred?
yes, sir. I tore my knee in 5 places a year ago,
Ooh.
and
Mm.
I had surgery late last year. So I've been this entire year has been nothing but recovery for me. I have
Sorry.
like until let's see, I have about 6 more months of recovery left, and then I'll be back in action. I'll be full. I'll be back at 100%. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it.
I bet. God bless
Eh,
both of you.
Uh,
hey, Bobby. Hey, you ever hear about a guy getting a baby on one leg?
hey, man. Hey, man.
I guess we're looking at Fred. That's impressive. Well, listen, Fred, you got to have one more child, then you have a basketball team.
Yeah,
There
no.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go. You see?
no.
Hey, he's on
Yeah,
board with number 5.
yeah,
But number
no,
5 is
no,
coming,
yeah,
man.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no, no. See, Bobby, listen, I'm getting neutered next year. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting neutered.
He says that.
I
Yeah.
am.
He
I'm,
said.
I'm, I'm, I'm getting it done. I can't. We can't have another kid. There's
No,
like a
no,
no.
no.
No, 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 no. But other than that, man, listen. For everybody, let's see, we got 16 people in here. We appreciate everybody for hanging with us. Um, um, now, next week we will be having our top cigars of the year. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that live stream. So please check that out. Check us out next week. Also, shout out to our partners. Small Batch. I know Bobby. I
Hmm.
know he knows Small Batch.
Sure,
Uh,
absolutely. Good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
great people, and man, this has been a awesome show,
Awesome show.
an awesome
Awesome.
show, Bobby. We really appreciate you and your
Yeah.
time, and you're welcome back anytime you want to come.
Anytime.
We don't have to
Anytime.
talk about cigars either, because a lot of times we
Yeah.
talk about
everything.
sports. We talk a lot of shit, man. We
Yeah,
talk a lot of shit.
Which I love. I love,
yeah.
love, love. Well, listen, thank you for having me on, and I'm
No
sorry.
problem.
I'm sorry about the technical about my.
Oh, please, no. We listen. We have them every show.
Yeah, we have them
we
every week.
we have them every show. You know,
We have them every week.
StreamYard do not
It's
like
no
us.
issue. It's no issue at
Yeah.
all. And make sure you stay on
Okay,
after we
well,
close out, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
bring you back up on stage. But for everybody else, we appreciate you guys. Again, if you have not signed up for the Discord, if you're not a part of the Discord, check out our Patreon. Sign up for a tier, and you will be added to our Patreon chat. There's a lot of things in there that you can check out. So make sure y'all check that out. And again, we'll see y'all next week. We'll do our top 8 cigars of the year. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to it. We'll see y'all next week, man. Remember, stay lit, stay laughing. Avengers out. Peace.
And
all right.
and tell a friend to tell a mother effing friend. You know the
There
vibe.
you go. There you go.
There you go.
Thank
All
you all.
right. Thank you.